systems that start to happen in Egypt as well. Good afternoon, class. This is your instructor, John Van Slyke from History 126, World Civ 1. I just wanted to take a few moments to check in with you. Here we are, we're getting close to the end of the first instructional week, and I've been fielding some questions, and some of the questions are very legitimate, partly because they're the consequence of a couple errors that I had entered into the assignments. Others are, I think, a little bit more just structural, and probably because students are still getting familiar with the flow of the course. But I just want to make a couple clarifications and also to indicate that I'm pretty pleased with how the course has gotten started. A number of you are highly engaged and contributing some quality work, and you're off to a good strong start, and that's great. I know a couple of you, I think even by your own admission, are a little slow out of the gates, but hopefully are finding your stride as we get started with the course. But anyway, I want to just point out a couple things. I've communicated this to a few of you. If you have a question, like a general question about the course, say, where is something, or is it clear, if you're trying to clarify when a certain type of assessment is due, I would like you to get in the habit of asking your question in this "do you have a question" form. The benefit of that is that then I can answer the question once, and then when other students maybe have that same question, if they read through the "do you have a question" module, or the discussion forum rather, then they'll have the benefit of my having already answered that question. Or quite possibly, maybe one of your peers will answer your question for you before your instructor even reads the question or is aware of it, and that's always a wonderful thing too. I expect that you have all gone through the week 0 module by now. It's apparent to me that one or two of you haven't, based on some of the questions I'm getting. My expectation is that you'll have read through this so that you'll be prepared to start, get off to a strong start. It doesn't take as long as it looks. You just kind of click through it. 2, here we are, week 1 module, and I unfortunately entered some inaccurate information that confused some of you. For example, up until a few minutes ago, your essay indicated that it was due on Sunday night. That's not true. It's due Wednesday, as it was explained in the syllabus. The syllabus trumps any errors that might be written into some of these assessments. Nonetheless, it's due tomorrow night, so you still do have some time. And I would also encourage you to check out the essay assistance. I have been through this a number of times. One of the things that I really like about my online courses is I do feel like it gives me a chance to assist you, the student, in becoming a better writer. And the way I do that is I hold you accountable for the standards and quality levels of quality that I expect. And normally what happens is students throughout the quarter just rise and meet my expectations, and in the process they become better writers, and that's always a great thing. Some of you might be solid writers already. That's great too. Others of you might need a little bit of coaching. But in this essay assistance module, you'll find some indications of what I consider to be quality writing, particularly if you look at the writing points. I have 8 writing points that I'll call your attention to as we go through the quarter if necessary. Okay? All right, what else do we have? Some of you have been asking about extra credit. I'm assuming that you're getting that impression from the syllabus, and that's fine. I will actually make the extra credit option available to you later in the quarter. It's not something you need to worry about right now. More on that as the time comes. Okay, so at this point, here we are. It is Tuesday afternoon, week 1 of instruction. At this point, your first contribution to the discussion forum was due on Saturday. Your first chapter review, which was the 35-point multiple choice questions about your chapter 1, that was due Sunday night. And now what we have at this point, Tuesday, is your final deadline for the week is your, I should say final deadlines, is your essay, which is located right here, Essay, Civilization in Ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt. That's due by tomorrow night, Wednesday night, by 11:59 p.m., as are your final 3 follow-up posts to your initial discussion post. And your follow-up post should be insightful remarks to your peers in response to things that they have written. And I will just close by saying a good follow-up post isn't so much about telling your peer that they did a great job and you think they're a good writer. It's more about plugging into some observation that they have made about the material and then taking it in a slightly different direction, or reflecting and turning it based on what your interpretation or insight was. And that makes for an intellectual exchange, an intellectual conversation, as opposed to just a pleasant conversation. Okay, so I'm interested in, I want you to, of course, be pleasant, but I also want you to be engaged and intellectual, since we're discussing intellectual matters in our discussion forums. Okay, so with that, I will sign off. Thanks for a strong start, and I will look forward to more of the same as we move through the quarter together. Take care.